So this is what our page looks like. The goal for this is to try and basically convert our inline CSS to internal CSS. The idea is that we're not going to change so much what this looks like. We're just going to try and make it so it's not inline, because that is not as good of a way of doing it. Okay, so what we want to do, if you recall, is that we want to put the tag inside of the head here, right? It doesn't go in the body. So what we're going to do is after the last meta, we're going to go ahead and you're going to type in style, boom, and it's going to make the closing one automatically for us. So first what I'm going to do is just do the body here, and that should be real easy. So I'm going to do body for my selector, and then it's open brackets or curly braces. And then what we're going to do is you're just going to take all of these styles and you're just going to slap them in there. So you just grab this, I'm going to click there, I'm going to hold shift and click there. So I grab this whole section, and then you can cut and paste or middle mouse button click. I'll middle mouse button click, and I'm just going to drag and drop it there. Okay. Now you'll see it's left over to the style here. I'm just going to remove that like so. Okay. Now you could leave it like this, and that's fine, but it's good. I like to have the rules all lined up. I just think it's cleaner and it's not more obvious what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit enter on each CSS rule so that they are all in line. Now you can also leave this bracket here, but I like to put it up here just so that it doesn't take up quite so much space. Okay, so now what you're going to do is notice I took it out of the body and I did style, body, and this. Okay, so the goal is I'm going to save that. We're going to go back to our web page, and then when I refresh it, it should look exactly the same. As long as it looks exactly the same, it means that now I did the same thing I had, but notice it's a little bit cleaner. I don't have a big long line, and it's just up in here. It's a little bit easier to see. Now, the rest of it's going to be a little bit more difficult because we have very specific ones, like this is only on here, and this is only there. I'm going to try one thing just to show that you could do some other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and on the divs, and this will apply to all divs, so it's not going to be exactly 100%, but notice that a lot of the divs have this margin bottom 40. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up here. So we're just going to go up here. I'm going to back that up. I'm going to do div. So I'm just going to target my divs. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab this, and I'll just Control X or Command X, cut that. And I'm going to paste it in here, right? Make sure it's tabbed in nice. And I'm going to make sure the curly brace is up here, like so. Now, I'm going to get rid of this style, like so. And then I'm going to also see this one here also has that margin. Oops, that margin 40. I'm going to leave the text align though. So I'm going to get rid of it here. Oops, hang on. Sorry, got to keep this. Got to keep the style here. So we're just going to get rid of the margin. We're going to leave the style one. I just want to get rid of the margin. So we're just getting rid of the margin bottoms. This one I'm going to get rid of the whole style. And this one I'm going to get rid of the whole style. And does this one have that? No. Okay. Good. Then we're going to save it. Okay. So basically, out of these subsections, I took that 40 bottom, the margin bottom 40 pixels, but I left the top one because it has that centering that the whole one does. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to my web page, and I'm going to hit refresh, and you're going to see it's mostly similar. It's slightly different. I don't know if you can tell, but some things shifted down a little bit more than they were supposed to because now this one has it, which it did not. So the main one here, because this is also a div, that div is going to apply to this when originally it does not have, it had margin 20. Actually, you know what? The margin 20 probably will supersede that. So that might be fine. But it is going to shift it just a little bit. But that's an example of being able to target just using the elements themselves. So we went ahead, we put in our style, and we did a couple of CSS rules. But in order to apply these other ones, we're going to have to do that through using classes and IDs.